Hiya folks, JD here, and today I thought we'd look at my top 6 quadcopters ready for Christmas. So to find out more information, I'm going to have links to the flight tests that I've done, as well as links to the products in the description of this particular video, should you want to find out more information about a particular quadcopter. So let's start off with the most expensive, which is the DJI Phantom 3 Standard. Now, DJI have gone through and made a load of drones over the past couple of years, and this drone is a few years old now, but the price is dropping so low that it's almost criminal if you don't pick up one of these. This is the Phantom 3 with a 2.7K camera, which is a little bit better than 1080p, but not as good as 4K. It comes with GPS stabilization, so its altitude hold stays locked into certain coordinates at a particular height. So you can then move the quadcopter very slowly forward, back, left and right, or quickly, without having to worry about moving the altitude up or down. So I've had this for almost a year. I've taken it out, I've done a few flights with it, as well as used it as well as a professional video tool for a lot of my other videos, and I've been extremely happy with it. There is a bit of a learning curve to it when you first start. It does take a little while to actually get into it, but once you've set it up and you've done everything through once, consequently the next times you come to use it, it's so much quicker until you get in all the setup done within a couple of minutes and you're up and you're flying. I think DJI make some of the best quadcopters, and this one is no exception. So this has been the Phantom 3 Standard. Let's look at number 5. Number 5 we looked at a couple of months ago. This is the JD11. Now this is it has the stylings of the DJI Inspire. Obviously it's not as expensive as that quadcopter. It's a very good flying quadcopter. It flies very, very well. It has altitude hold. It's got a camera on the front of it. Now, if you were to look at this and want to use this as a professional tool, I would say that it couldn't be used for that, because this camera, the quality just isn't there. But the drone itself, if you wanted to learn to fly and learn how to use a motorized camera at the same time, then this would be something that you could start out on. Quadcopter flies well, it's very sturdy. I've taken it out a few times and I've never had any issues with the flight at all. It's got 3 speed modes, altitude hold, it's got a motorized camera to fly from transmitter or from smartphone as well. So this has been the JD11. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 is the little Syma X20. Now I've been really hard pushed to find another nanocopter as good as this guy. This particular quadcopter really did alter the way that I looked at nanocopters. Before flying this one, I never liked nanocopters. I saw them as kind of a hindrance. They weren't very good. They were quite flaky, very darty, and they would just disappear. This guy changed that totally. Now we've got micro USB in the back for charging, inbuilt battery. What's so good about the micro USB port is that it's not a proprietary charger. So should the charger that you're using break, you can just get another micro USB cable and plug it in. Job done. It also comes with altitude hold. You have the ability to fly from a little transmitter that it comes with. The transmitter is excellent. Obviously the quadcopter and the transmitter don't take up that much space, so you can put this in a small bag and take it with you. Also, this can be used indoors as well as out, so if you wanted to practice with it first a couple of times, that is also something that you can do. This has been the Syma X20. Let's look at the next quadcopter. The next one is a folding quadcopter. This is the Skytech. Now we saw this one a few months back, and every single time I fly a folding quadcopter, this is the benchmark for folding quadcopters in my eyes. This flew extremely well. It's very fast. It has 2 speed modes. Speed mode 1 is quite slow, quite standard. Speed mode 2 is extreme. It has a little camera on the front of it as well. You can alter the camera angles of the lens, not very much. The camera itself is okay. It does have FPV relay. Another thing I like about this as well is that the propeller arms are locked in place. You have to actually push a button down to unlock them. So that's a pretty good safety feature, and also if you're carrying it in a bag, the propeller arms aren't going to open and they aren't going to snap as you're making your way to wherever it is that you fly your quadcopters. Battery in the back as well. Battery has 10 to 12 minutes of battery life. The only downside with this is that it is extremely light, so if the weather is a little bit overcast with a bit of a breeze, I wouldn't recommend taking this guy out. But nonetheless, it is still a very good quadcopter and not one that should be forgotten about. Okay, let's look at the next one. Should you know anybody that likes to build their own quadcopters, then this may be something they want to do. This is a Nano quadcopter. It's a Nano FPV racing quadcopter. You have a little camera on the front there. This came as a little kit and you just put it together. It isn't very complicated to do so, but it's extremely fun, and you do feel a sense of worth once you have put it together and then you do take it out in the field and you fly it. I've taken this out about 4 or 5 times, and every time I have done, it has flown extremely well, and I've forgotten how well it flies until I take it out and I think, wow, good God, this thing flies really, really well. I have crashed it a few times as well, and all that's happened is this little battery cage has just come off, and all I've done is just pop it back on, and it just clips back in with these 2 clips either side here. So that is a nice little racing FPV quadcopter. It's pretty quick as well, to be honest, and it's quite silent. It would be good for indoors if you've got a big enough room to fly it. If not, this would be solely outdoors. Now let's look at the last one. The last quadcopter is a recent one that we flew on Saturday just gone. This is the JJRC Cygnus, and this guy blew me away. When I was taking this out, we had the start of a storm coming in, and I wasn't too confident that this guy could actually cut through the breeze, and I was very prepared to cancel the video and have to go out at a different date once the storm had passed. This guy came through massively. It has 3 speed modes. Speed mode 1 is pretty quick. Speed mode 2 is a little bit faster. Speed mode 3 is insanely quick. But above all, these motors are very, very powerful. This quadcopter is really light, so I was very concerned that the slightest breeze and he would be all over the place. That is totally not the case. This comes with altitude hold. It comes with a camera on the front as well, which can be angled, and I was really quite surprised at how high quality this camera is in compared to some of the other toy grade quadcopters that we've looked at. Again, it's a folding quadcopter. It does have locks, but unlike the Skytech, the locks only stop you from bringing the arm back in, not from taking the arm out. That is the one downside, is that if you had it in a bag, I'd put an elastic band or something around the arms to stop them flailing open, otherwise you may find the arms get damaged in transit. But nonetheless, it is one that I didn't want to forget about, and it's one that I think that you definitely should look at if you're looking for a foldable, portable quadcopter with a good camera with altitude hold again. So you can fly this once again with a transmitter or from your smartphone. You have 2 ways of doing it, should you prefer one than the other. So this is being the JJR Cygnus. Let's see if we can get all the quadcopters on this table. So this is the JJRC. We also looked at the Syma X20, the Skytech, do-it-yourself FPV drone, the JD11, the Phantom 3 Standard. There we go. So I hope this has given you some sort of an idea as if anybody is looking for any quadcopters, where to start. Obviously these are just based on my findings. Obviously other people's may vary, but to be honest, I think these are some of the best quadcopters that we've looked at this year, and ones that I would certainly be very happy to receive on Christmas Day. So there we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.